Yo, buddy. Veteran X here, and no need for a long-ass YouTube intro. You know why you're here. Aniimo is an upcoming open-world monster taming ARPG, and it looks very promising. So today, I thought it would be a fun idea to talk about some features that will be nice to see, and some aspects that probably should be avoided to help make this game shine. To kick things off, let's dive into one of the biggest talking points, the monetization. Aniimo is a free-to-play game, which means that there will not be a financial barrier to entry, which is a good thing, right? Well, that depends, because as a free-to-play game, it still has to make money some way. I mean, that much is a given. So how will it be accomplished? Well, let's throw some theories out there, shall we? First, let's address how it shouldn't be handled, and that is including pay-to-win mechanics. Pay-to-win can be defined as anything that gives a player an advantage over someone who didn't swipe their credit card. Pretty simple. And I think most players agree that something like this would be unfair, which makes a lot of sense. In the same vein, items that you can buy, which include ways to speed up unnecessary timers, hand out XP gains, or increase success rates at crafting, could also be viewed in a negative light as well. Those mechanics are called paying for convenience or pay to progress. They're like the distant cousins of pay to win, but they all have the same goal, which is to provide an advantage to someone who swiped their credit card. Also, please do not put certain Annies behind a paywall. The entire point of a monster taming game is to go out and tame monsters. It's freaking wonderful. But putting a financial mirror force between players and their Annies could have devastating consequences. And that's a timeline I do not want to be on. A monetization strategy that several free-to-play games adopt is to sell items that don't offer in-game advantages over other players. Examples of this include cosmetics, banner designs, character titles, furniture, battle passes, themes, emotes, etc., etc., just to name a few. Monetization centered around these aspects are quote-unquote usually accepted by players because these items are primarily cosmetic and even optional. So that way, the players who want to drop a little cash on the game can do so freely. And for the folks who didn't want to, they don't have to worry about playing catch up because they didn't give up their lunch money. Another feature that I'm very excited to learn about is the main story and player progression. Aniimo, please don't follow the same overused Pokemon formula of collecting X amount of gym badges and then fighting the Elite Four to become champion. We've been exposed to this same song and dance for decades, and this is an opportunity to do something totally fresh and unique from the pack. There are thousands of games in existence that engage their audience through one-of-a-kind and worthwhile storytelling. Expedition 33 is the perfect example of this. Basically, I just hope that the story is delivered in a way that's new, unique, and fresh from within the monster taming genre of video games. Obviously, I am a longtime Pokemon fan, and I'm an even bigger fan of monster taming games in general, and we just want something that's going to keep us engaged for hours and hours on end, and I truly believe that Aniimo has the potential to do that and more. And I also noticed that this game is rated T, so that allows for even more wiggle room on how to craft the game's story elements. Since this is an open world game, I really hope that the overworld is filled with a good amount of content for players to engage with and discover. I'm talking about side quests, unique gear, rare Annies, dungeons, optional objectives, caverns, the works, baby. Is this ambitious? One could say that, but I'm just so excited to play a new monster tamer, and the untapped ideas for this genre have huge potential. No one wants to walk around a large open world that doesn't have much to do within it. That kind of defeats the purpose, but I have a feeling that Aniimo could deliver massively on this front. Also, I like to give a huge shout out to my first channel member, Bright Soldier. Thank you for letting me borrow your Lamborghini, King. What an awesome guy. And if you like to support the channel and get cool ass shout outs just like this one, then click the link in the description to become a member and grow 3 inches taller instantly. The next feature that players are looking forward to is the combat, and for good reason. Being able to play as the actual Annies you capture is a brilliant idea, and this is something I've always wanted within a monster taming game. Since this is an ARPG, this means that combat will be dynamic. I'm not sure if I missed it, but will there be a dedicated dodge button to help evade attacks? I know certain Annies, like Budclaw, can dig underground to avoid attacks, but I'm just curious if other Annies will have access to dodge attacks as well, similar to dodge rolling as seen in other ARPGs. Also, there are talks of this game being co-op and multiplayer, which is great news. My question here is that will boss fights and alpha encounters be scaled appropriately for how many players are in a party? A feature like that could go a long way in preserving the game's balance. Player customization is something that I'm very curious about as well. Within the trailer, we can see the main character wear 2 different outfits, so I'm hoping that there will be many cosmetic options for players to choose from. I mentioned earlier that some cosmetics could be offered in the cash shop, but I also hope that there are cool cosmetics you can earn by just playing the game as well. Maybe they can be rewards for completing side quests or overcoming difficult challenges within the game. This provides incentives for players to dive even deeper to what the game has to offer. Also, the ability to mix and match different pieces of clothing will be much appreciated. For example, you have a hat, a shirt, pants, gloves, and shoes, and being able to change them individually would allow players to experiment with unique styles and enhance user expression. Everybody wins. It's been a very long time since I've been excited for a new monster taming game, and the last time I probably felt like this was for Temtem. And as you can see here, I put in a lot of hours with that game. Monster Tamers are my favorite genre of games, and it feels good that a new entry is soon upon us. Speaking of Monster Tamers, if you want to hear me yap about one of the best Pokemon games, then check out my video here for Pokemon Heart Gold. And if you want to hear me glaze one of the best Game of the Year contenders, then check out my video here on Clair Obscure. And now, with all of that out of the way, get out there and let's go play some freaking video games.